Hi people, you are welcome to Money Talk NG. It's great to be back, and today we're going to, talk about different things that really affect you. And today we have the wealth doctor, the personal finance guru. The thing about him is that I struggle most of the time to call him Mr. Ken, but I call him Dr. Ken. So permit me for today to refer to him as Dr. Ken. So it's great to be back to the viewers, and today.
Thanks,
yeah,
Dami.
Yeah, we're going to be discussing. I have a lot of questions that I want to ask you around, what is stopping people from creating wealth? What is stopping people from generating traction? Then to even start with, let's break the ice on this conversation. That is it everybody that can be successful? Is it everybody literally that can be rich? Because I was going through a statistics the other day.
Yeah.
It's only 1% of the world population that has wealth net worth of $1 million and above, which already presupposes that probably wealth is made for some people. So I put it to you, is it everybody that can be wealthy?
Well, sincerely speaking, the truth is not everyone can be wealthy. The fact remains that even in the world today, the way the world is set up, you've got to have a lot of people who don't have the training, the skills, the tools that are required to be able to build wealth. The wealth building is the result of a couple of laws. There are certain principles, strategies that one needs to put in place if you want to be successful financially. But you find that most people are not ready to do what it takes. And that's why, sadly, many people are not achieving financial success all over the world. And that trend is set to continue. Some people are not hungry enough for success financially. Some people are not passionate about what they want, about coming out of poverty. So they are limited and they're hindered because nothing good comes easy. You're going to contend with a lot of forces. You're going to contend with a lot of barriers and limiting factors. If you're not passionate, if you're not intense, if you're not intentional, the chances of you being able to succeed are minimal. And that's why many people don't succeed. Some people don't succeed for lack of trying. Yeah. But the truth of the matter is that there are many forces to contend with, and you've got to keep on pushing. You have to be persistent, you have to be diligent, you have to be determined, and you have to be knowledgeable. You have to follow trends. There's so many things you need to master about your environment and about yourself if you want to be serious about building wealth. And I see many people, they don't go the distance in this quest.
So invariably, it's all about building that willpower, that determination, right? But what are the other things? Then you talk about knowledge. So let's speak on knowledge now as like a second, so that means lack of knowledge, can hinder people from becoming successful, right? So what's up with knowledge? Why is it an imperative? Then what are the practical steps to building knowledge?
The key thing is that knowledge is important because the skills and information required to build wealth is not taught in any school. Whether you go to primary, secondary, or university, you won't find anywhere where you can learn about how to grow wealth or how to better manage your money. So you have to go on an adventure by yourself. You must invest in books, you must invest in CDs, DVDs, get a money coach, somebody who can help you to better understand the nuances and the principles behind building wealth. And because it's not taught in any school, you've got to go on your own personal study. And that's part of what I said earlier in terms of passion, intention, and hunger. If you're hungry for something, you've got to go all out to find out how to get that thing and to attract more of that thing into your life. And you can only do that through an aggressive quest for knowledge. Again, that's one of the factors that hinders many people. I see people that want to become wealthy, but they're not ready to give what it takes to go on a journey to get information that will help them to achieve their financial goals.
So it's more like paying more like lip service to this without, having that intent of purpose. Essentially, that's what you're talking about. Now, the thing is that let's still also drill down to several, because these things, as in my head, as I'm categorizing it now, it's about there are the internal, the limiting factors, right?
Yes.
What are the other ones before we go to the external one? Because in my head, I'm thinking there are some external factors too that we might need to work on.
The external factors, but you'll find that 90% of the challenge we face is internal. So a couple of factors that actually hinder people that you could term internal are things like attitude. Because you see, if you don't have the right attitude towards something, attitude is more important than fact. It's your attitude towards a situation or towards what you want to achieve, which in this case is well-building, that will help you to overcome all the obstacles that you'll find on your path. So you've got to have the right attitude to believe that I can do this, I can become wealthy and financially successful. So attitude is one of the first things. And another thing you need to deal with doubt. A lot of people have doubts and fears. I doubt my capabilities. I don't think I can really become rich. Or maybe nobody in the family has achieved wealth before. So the individual is thinking that, oh, this is going to be hard nut for me to crack. So your attitude as well can also, doubts can also hold you back from achieving wealth. Then there's fear. There's fear of the unknown, fear of success, fear of being able to achieve. Those who are wealthy and those who we respect, they've actually made a lot of sacrifices. It has cost them something to be financially successful. So many people are afraid that they may not be able to pay the price in order to be able to get the prize. So they pull back, especially when they see what it entails. People dream of being financially successful, but when they find out that you need to study, when they find out that you need to work hard, when they find out that you need to create value, when they find out that you need to work on your attitude, they think it's too much, it's too much price to pay for financial success. So they just kind of pull back.
So let's drill down to external factors, because for this part of the world, sub-Saharan Africa, there's some external factors. There should be some enabling environment ultimately.
Of course.
I think external factors like, the kind of relationship you keep, of course, economic policy and all of that. I believe those ones, even though we can control it, is actually taking a toll of people and is affecting them. So what do you think about all that?
The reason why I don't usually put a lot of emphasis on external factors is because even in an environment like ours, people are still succeeding financially. I mean, in African countries, for example, even though there's no access to capital, even though the environment is not enabling, even though there are challenges and there are barriers, people are still being able to succeed financially. I remember reading a government report a few weeks ago, and they were talking about the number of millionaires that we have in the country, that we have in Nigeria. And they were saying that over 50,000 people that have a net worth of over 100 million and above. Now that's reasonable capital in a country where you might say the government policy is not favorable, or you might say the environment is not enabling enough. Even in that environment, people are still succeeding. That's why I don't class external factors as important as internal factors. And even if you look at it, things like access to capital, favorable government policies are important, but they're not the most important things. The most important things are the internal factors: your attitude, your passion, your hunger, your drive. Once you have the attitude and all those things right, you will find a way. Somebody said, when there's a will, there's a way. If there's a will to become financially successful, you will find a way. You will find a way around it, and that's what many people are doing in Africa today.
So I want us to also talk about the role of association, relationship in determining wealth, and how that can affect people, generating wealth. Like, for example, there's a popular saying, and I kind of believe in that your net worth is determined by your network, the place of association, and that there's a kind of positive or a negative vibe that you can get from the people that you associate with, depending on the kind of people they are. I just wanted to touch on that and strategy on navigating that particular habit point.
Well, I think that the concept of your network being determined by your network is accurate and true, but I believe that there are certain things you need to put in place. There's a formula for wealth, for building wealth and financial success, and it starts with conquering your doubts and your fears and building your passion and your energy, and then creating value. So if you want to build a network, you're not just going to walk up to somebody you don't know and say you need some funding, or you need that person to speak to somebody on your behalf. Person needs to see your track record. Person perhaps needs to see how hardworking, honest and diligent you are, and that comes back to those internal factors. Once you are hardworking, diligent and passionate, and you relate properly with those who can help you, they will help you. So those people become your network. Become your network. So because you're passionate, dedicated, committed, willing to learn, willing to create value for your customers, once you meet the right people, they will help you, and before you know it, you begin to create wealth. But without those internal factors being properly put in place, your network cannot grow just by having a network. So you can speak to your network and they want to help you, but you don't have the character and the attributes and the traits that will help to create wealth for you, even though you have the help of somebody in your network who is influential.
Yeah, so for me, that looks to me like a perfect formula, like a blueprint that cannot fail. When your internal attributes are in place, talking about, positive mindset, determination, hard work, and you leverage on that, more like to build a network, people that are positive, people that can impact you positively and, really help you in your journey to financial freedom. Ultimately, that should translate to proper net worth, right?
You see,
So, what are the other things that you think we need to add? Are we sure we've covered all the sides to this wealth generation activity?
the journey to building wealth is actually a marathon. It's not a short, it's not a sprint. So there's still so many other foundational blocks or building blocks we still need to put in place in order to be able to build wealth. And if I may just take us back a bit, some other internal factors are things like envy. If you are usually envious of people, that affects your ability to attract wealth. You see, wealth is attracted. You have to attract it to you, and there are certain behaviors and mannerisms and nuances you must imbibe as part of your personality and your character. So when your personality, your values, and your character all align to attract wealth, things start to work in your favor. The right network begins to come in place. But also you have to be thinking about solutions. What are the needs of the people in your community? Can you meet their needs? The more needs you can meet, the more wealth you can create. So you've got to also think about how you can create value for the people around you and how you can get your solution to their problems as profitably as possible. So there are many things you need to contend with. So even though you've worked on your character and all the internal factors are fine, the environment may be giving you challenges, but notwithstanding, eventually you'll build wealth. That's why you can find that in the toughest countries in the world, places like Afghanistan, for example, Somalia, there are still people that are wealthy. It's not about the environment at the end of the day. It's about these factors, these nuances, this character traits. If you build them positively, you find yourself beginning to acquire wealth gradually.
So, in wrapping up this conversation, what will be your final words to the audience, to the viewers?
Well, I'd like to tell the viewers that it's important to see wealth as a journey. A journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. Determine in your heart to want to build wealth and determine to do what it takes. That by doing what it takes, I mean things that are legal and ethical, and then build on your drive on your way to building wealth. But it's also important that you're going to make mistakes along the way. You're going to learn from your mistakes, and you should not leave wealth building to God alone. Many people in Africa want to just pray to God and they want to sleep a pauper and wake up a millionaire. That's just not possible. You've got to do certain things. There are certain things you need to do. And wealth is a formula. If you follow the formula, you will achieve the result.
So guys, you've heard it all. It's a wrap on this episode of Money Talk.ng. You heard it from the money doctor, Dr. Ken, right? On habit that can deter us from building wealth as a level that we wanted. And of course, by default, habits that we need to build. We need to get rid of doubt or fear. We need to have the proper attitude. The bulk of the things that might be hindering us from achieving our purpose are internal stuff rather than external. So we need to guide our heart. We need to build capacity internally. The times are hard, but we can definitely succeed. We will want you to go to our website, moneytalkng.com, to look at our latest articles, and a lot of other resources are on the platform that will help you in your journey to building financial wealth. And in the meantime, try and like this video and try and subscribe to this channel on YouTube. So catch you guys.